In this video I'm going to do a review of NuTeaks C-Flor. NuTeaks C-Flor is an interior teak and holly imitation wood product, I believe made out of PVC, that is not as UV resistant, not as thick as their NuTeaks brand, but is designed for interior floor surfaces. This is a 1986 Catalina tall rig with the bowsprit, and I haven't had the boat long, just for 2 years, but for quite some time I wanted to put in, or for that time I wanted to put in a new flooring solution because I didn't like the floor that the Catalina 30 came with stock, and the boat I had, although in very good shape, the floor was not in the bestest shape. It was a gel coat floor that had a texture on it, and the texture had worn in a lot of places. The previous owner had put carpet over it. It just didn't stand up very well, and the floor was almost impossible to keep clean, and no matter how nice the rest of the boat looked, the floor always took away from it. It was also very difficult to clean. So I was looking for another solution, and one of them was to put in real teak. My big complaint with real teak is, of course, the price, although the synthetic flooring isn't cheap by any means either, but mostly the headroom and the amount of work. One thing that's not unique to Catalina, but Catalina certainly has, is that the floor is not even, so it slopes up. There's a dip right here by the engine where it dips down and out. As you get further up, it dips up. There's a lot of odd corners, and to do that with teak and holly or even plywood that's just got a teak and holly veneer to it, if that's the proper word, would be very complicated because you have to raise the floor up, make things a little bit more level. The bumps, I imagine, would be very difficult, so you'd lose some of the headroom, and I'm 5'11", so I have plenty of headroom as it is, but if we were to take an inch or two off, I'd have to start ducking, which I didn't want to do. So I looked at a lot of different products. This one that I was able to find was available in Canada, but it's of course made in the US, or at least that's where the manufacturer, or where the company is. I don't know exactly where it's made. This is the product. It actually reminds me in look and feel to what you would see at any of the big box stores for their basement style flooring. I believe it's made out of PVC. There's no paper or wood products in it. It's completely waterproof. They have a couple different colors and styles and sizes, so you can get thinner holly strips, you can get thinner teak, you can get different colors. I think they have 2 interior colors, like a red, and then they have the holly strips and then the black strips. As you can see, it's quite thin. I don't know the exact measurements, but it's very thin, so it takes very little away from the headroom. This is the rounded style as well, so you probably can't tell from the video, but the edges are all slightly rounded. It's the same price, but the idea behind it is it makes it look a little bit more natural. It's interlocking in a way. It's not interlocking like you would with your regular floor where there's tabs. You just sort of fit it together. You have to glue it to the floor, of course. That's why I opted for using this type of flooring versus just using a basement style flooring and trying to imitate the look of teak and holly, is that I have to glue it down so the water doesn't get under it and it doesn't mold. So it's really a one-shot deal. Taking it up and going back to gel coat is pretty much impossible. Once you put this down, you have to commit to whatever you're putting down. So I opted to spend a little bit of extra money and put in a good quality imitation teak and holly floor, so that I wouldn't be lowering the value of my boat. It would look better, and because you really only get one shot at this. If I put in a cheaper sort of household product and I didn't like it, or had to take it up, or if we ever sell the boat in the future, the new owner didn't like it, it would really detract from the value, and you have to glue it down because of the shapes and contours of the boat, and so the mold doesn't get underneath. The floor was not too bad to install. It was very similar to installing tile. A little bit less like laminate flooring because you have to glue it down. I'm going to do a video after this showing some of the techniques I used. I'm just purely an amateur, but I figured out a couple tricks specific to Catalina that may apply to other boats as well for getting the edges and the trim to look nice without a lot of professional equipment. And I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. It actually looks significantly better. I have another video that has a before and after. Some of the things of note with the flooring is I have yet to be able to find two pieces that are duplicates of each other. They must use a really big pattern that they cut this out of. Because I know with a lot of the flooring that you see for household use, you know, there's 5 or 6 different types of planks and then they just sort of repeat themselves. I can find some of the same features on the planks, but they're never in the same place. I can't find, you can see the colors are slightly different. It looks very natural, and I think that's what makes it a bit more expensive, is just the quality of the flooring, particularly the pattern. It doesn't look fake, to my eye at least. When you look at a lot of synthetic floorings, you get up close and you can see they're pixelated or they just look fake, where this doesn't seem to be. I mean, you can tell that it's not a real teak and holly floor. You can actually see some real teak and holly in the bilge covers. It's a little bit older and faded, and I'm going to put some of the synthetic teak over that, but I want to replace the bilge covers. I don't want to cover those old ones because they're not in the best shape on the bottom. I think it actually looks better than the real stuff. Probably hard to compare it against brand new real teak and holly. I don't have any, so it, you know, depending on opinion, might look better. I don't know, but for the price and the simplicity of install, very pleased with this product. The support from the local reseller was really helpful. He answered all my questions, gave me lots of little tips. Not a lot of information online about doing this kind of thing on a boat, but I could get enough information to get it done. And it probably took about 4 full days. This boat's about 55 square feet of flooring. I didn't do the bathroom, I did everywhere else because of the shower, although it will work just fine with water. I decided not to risk an area that has high exposure to water to begin with. But I definitely recommend it, especially for the Catalina with its strange shape. The amount of labor was, you know, a lot, but not terrible, and I think the finished product looks quite nice, particularly with the odd shaped floor. And this was always one of my complaints about the Catalina 30, that is now no longer a problem.